is brought as the lamb to the slaughter in verse 7, and as the sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgressions of my people, God's people, was he stricken. And he made his grave with the wicked. He did die. And he had no place to be buried. He did not have a plot. He came into this earth in a manger, no home, no place, and went and was buried. He did not own a thing on this earth. And so buried with the wicked. And with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days. Yes, he will restore him to life. Prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. He shall see of the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many. He will justify us, for he shall bear our iniquities, their iniquities. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great. And he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he had poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors. And he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. This all in Isaiah. Check the dates on Isaiah. Check the dates. When was Isaiah written? 500 BC? 600 BC? 700 BC? Before Christ. There are remnants of Isaiah. Even today in the Dead Sea Scrolls, they have found evidence of this book being written 200 years, original copies before Christ's death and resurrection. These verses were written before his time. That is a fact. That is a historical fact. And Jesus came and fulfilled it. I tell you what, it's not easy being a Messiah, is it? Not always cracked up to be. What other man but the one sent by God for a very express purpose could fulfill all this? Who could be in the grave 3 days and 3 nights like the sign of Jonah? The only sign of the Messiah. Only Jesus could do this. Very quickly, Zechariah 12:10. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications. And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him as one is in bitterness for his firstborn. Yes, in the future Israel will look upon Jesus when he returns to this earth in the next phase of his messiahship, and they will look on him as one who is pierced. He'll say in Zechariah 13 and verse 6, one shall say unto him, what are these wounds in thine hands? Then he shall answer, those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. You know what? There's so much more. But I think that really deals with the suffering phase of our Messiah, Jesus Christ. And I believe that argues pre his fulfillment of these things through the prophets of Israel that are established as being historical, that he really did come and fulfill these events. And I want to point anyone who's familiar with these scriptures, to the only person who has fulfilled prophecy about being the Messiah, Jesus Christ. I think what we'll do at another time is address the next phase of this Messiah. When he comes again, the prophets have told us he will become King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He will come in a saving phase and a warring phase for his people. That is for another day and another message. May God bless you.